So good to see you all out there today. I brought a friend with me today. This is Pandy. Pandy, do you want to say hi to everybody? Wow, there's a lot of you out there. Hi. Yeah, there are a lot of them out there. It's really wonderful how many people are joining us for our virtual worship services.
I got it.
It's great to see everybody. It really is. So, Pandy, how are you doing? I'm okay. Oh, Pandy, you sound a little down. Well, I'm getting tired of spending all this time inside. I miss my friends. I'm a little lonely. Yeah, I can really understand that, Pandy. I think a lot of us can really understand feeling that way. Do you want a hug? Yeah. Okay. Aw. Well, I wonder, Pandy, if there's anything you can think of that you're looking forward to. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah. I remember something. What is it? Well, Horsey invited me to a virtual Passover Seder over Zoom. Oh, cool, Pandy. That's awesome. You know, I've never been to a virtual Seder, but I'm going to this year to one, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think you're going to have a great time. Oh, yeah, I'm excited. But I've never been to a Seder before. I'm not quite sure what to expect. Well, you know what, Pandy? I've been to quite a few Seders. I'd be happy to tell you a little bit about it. Would ya? That'd be great. Sure. So a Seder's, first of all, a lot of fun. And one really great thing about going to a Seder is that you're going to learn a lot about Passover just by being there. So probably one really important thing to know about Passover and about a Seder is that it's a big celebration of freedom. Ooh, freedom. Cool. You mean like being free to be able to go outside and play with my friends? Yeah, like that. There's all sorts of ways we get to think about freedom during Passover. You know, at the center of the Passover Seder and at the center of the holiday is the story of the Jewish people. Passover is a Jewish holiday. It's thousands of years old, one of the oldest holidays that's still celebrated today. And at the center of Passover is the story of the Jewish people's exodus from Egypt. And exodus means leaving Egypt. The Jewish people were slaves in Egypt. And so the Passover story is about going from slavery to freedom, leaving Egypt and finding freedom. Oh. So, you know, at the Seder, there's a lot of different food that you'll get to eat. And the food actually also helps to tell the story of the Jews' exodus from Egypt and the story of freedom. Do you want to hear a little bit about the foods? Oh, I love food. Sure. Tell me. Okay. Well, why don't you sit right here? There you go. And I actually brought a couple things, Pandy, this morning that will help us learn a little bit about the foods at the Passover Seder. So let's see here. Let me just get this. There we go. All right. So the first thing that I brought is some matzah. And you might have noticed that the matzah was covered up. So that's traditional at a Passover Seder. You cover up the matzah. Some people say the matzah's shy, maybe because maybe it feels a little inadequate compared to regular bread. But so this is matzah. It's bread. Looks kind of like a cracker, but it's bread. And it's the kind of bread that the Jews made on their to feed themselves during their escape from Egypt. Because you know, normal bread, you have to knead it and let it rise, knead it, let it rise, and put it in the oven. It takes a long time to make, but matzah's really quick. So that's what the Jews ate when they were fleeing from Egypt. And that's what a lot of Jewish people eat during Passover. In fact, many Jewish people don't eat bread that rises at all, called leavened bread. They just eat this matzah. So that's one of the things we eat at Passover. I'm going to cover it back up so it doesn't have to feel too shy. Another thing, Pandy, that you'll definitely see at the Seder is a Seder plate. And the foods on a Seder plate tell us a lot about the Passover story. So there's a bunch of different things here. And we've got an egg and some parsley. And the egg and the parsley kind of remind us of springtime and rebirth, the way that the earth wakes up and is reborn, and how many of us feel sort of reborn when springtime comes. And the parsley and the egg both represent freedom, a rebirth of freedom that the Jewish people experienced when they left Egypt and found themselves able to live in freedom. So another thing on our Seder plate is this morar, which is it's actually horseradish, and it's the bitter herbs that go on the Seder plate. Horseradish has a really strong flavor. It's kind of bitter and has a bite to it. Some people really like the way it tastes, but other people feel like, ooh, it almost hurts to eat horseradish. So horseradish reminds us, the bitter herbs remind us of the bitterness of slavery and the pain of slavery. And the lettuce does the same thing, because lettuce, when it overgrows and gets big, can also have a really bitter flavor. This is the haroset. It's a combination of apples and honey chopped up really fine, and it reminds us of the mortar that the Jews put between the bricks to build the pyramids when they were working as slaves in Egypt. So that's the haroset. And this last thing here, so this is a carrot, actually. It's a roasted carrot. Typically on a Passover Seder plate, you would have a shank bone, a roasted bone, to represent the sacrifice that Jews made for thousands of years to God during this Passover time. Jews would sacrifice a lamb and roast it, and that was a way of thanking God for helping to bring freedom to the Jewish people. So I did a carrot instead of a lamb shank. So those are all the foods that you'll find on the Seder plate, and that's the matzah. So that's some about what you'll experience during a Seder, Pandy, and I hope that might help to make you feel a little more comfortable and like you know what you're, what's going to happen at that Seder a little bit more. Oh, that did help, and now I'm also excited to get to eat some yummy food and be with my friends. Thanks. Well, you're so welcome. I hope you have a great time at that Seder. I hope you get to feel connected. I hope you get to reflect on some places in your life where you want to feel more free, where you want the world to be more free. A Seder is a really wonderful celebration of freedom and liberation for all people. So, Pandy, I think you have one more thing to say to people today. Oh, yeah. May the story unfold in your hearts until we meet again. Thanks, Pandy. See you later.